Hello, everyone, and I want to welcome you to Porch Talk Live Worldwide. Let it rip, okay? Where we have conversations about everything. Nothing is off of the table. And I love that. I love to be able to talk about whatever I want to talk about. You can get mad with me, you can disagree with me, but you cannot stop me. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, with us today is the fabulous Camille Robb, okay? We're partners in this talk show. And I love the idea of having someone that kind of has the same taste that I do. I love fun. I love somebody that's active, that can keep, when I'm messing up, she knows how to get me back in order without embarrassing me. And, those are the type of friends that you need and the type of partners that you need. I don't know what's happening with my
The
Zoom or what.
shoulder.
I know I'm flashing in and out or what have you. I don't know, but we're not going to worry about it. I want to introduce you to our guest for the day, and that is Mr. Rod Jetta. Now, here's the thing. I asked him to send me a very short snippet of who he is, what he does, and all of that. So we're going to give him a chance to talk, okay? But let me share something with you. This is like a commercial, okay? So on February the 7th, we are going to be doing a panel discussion about my newly released book that's called the Mistletoe Magic. And I would love for you to be there. We've got 12 women that's going to be reading. They're not going to actually be reading, they're going to read it before they come to the platform. And then we're going to go into a deep dive discussion about the book. So we're going to be talking about sexy, sassy, spicy, snazzy, and sizzling. And this is their names, okay? It is going to be fun. It's going to be full of adventure and you are going to love it. Okay. So let us get on with the show. So, Mr. Rod Shetta is a best selling author, he's a TEDx speaker. He got to tell me how he did that. And he is a counselor, coach for couples. After a traditional counseling failed, after traditional, can you hear it? Traditional counseling failed, Rod Jetta created YBAngry, okay? The relationship game where all you have to do to win is play. I like that. I like that.
I like the sound of that. I
Rod
like to play.
designed Why Be Angry to help customers get what they need without arguing in just minutes. Rod's game approach helps couples calmly overcome seemingly unsurmountable issues lasting decades. No fuss, no drama. Now, I really remembered that. No fuss, no drama, no cussing, no fighting, none of that stuff, okay? Why be angry? I love this. I love this, Ron. So let me ask you a question before we even get started. Why are you so passionate about when someone talk to you about this and what stirred you up on the inside to do this?
Well, to answer that, I'd like to tell you how it all started. Okay.
All right.
So, um, almost a couple of decades ago, I met a wonderful woman and we were married. We got married. But after about 10 years, I decided I wanted a divorce. I just wanted out. And so we went to marriage counseling, but we got kicked out of marriage counseling, right? So it was my fault. I was being stubborn. The first 4 weeks, they were assessing us to see if we were suitable for counseling. Because, if she was beating on me or if I were an alcoholic, then we'd need our individual counseling. So on the 5th week, they said, yep, you guys are suitable for counseling, and we'll give you another 8 to 12 weeks of counseling. Well, that day we got kicked out because I didn't want to do this exercise that the therapist was asking us to do. So, and a couple of days later, I was like, Lord, if I'm going to stay in this relationship, I need to see some progress right now, because I had been struggling for a while. Hold on, looks like a recording thing. Okay. And so as I was working on this, because, I wanted to help me and my wife, and also wanted to help other couples not experience what my wife and I had gone through. And I realized I didn't have any real problems with my wife. I hadn't called her lying or cheating or anything like that. It's just that if we had been able to resolve our disagreements as they occurred, then I wouldn't be in the predicament that I was in. So what I ended up with is something I call couples coaching with instant results. It's a process, it's a game, so where couples, if they have a disagreement, they can settle it right now, today, in less than an hour. It doesn't have to drag on for decades. We don't have to keep talking about it. And you don't have to hold it in and push stuff under the rug. I just believe if couples talk about everything, then they'll understand each other better, their bond will grow stronger, and they'll just stay together forever. So, and when I'm sitting with people and they have an issue that's been going on for 20-something years or 30-something years, it is exciting for me to know that we can fix this right now, and it doesn't have to continue to be an issue. So that's all.
Well, let me ask you this, and then I'm gonna let Fabulous Camille take over. Can you think? You don't have to give me names or anything, but can you think of someone that was really, really funny coming into this arena with you to be coached, or somebody that was really, really troubled, and you really did whatever it took in order to make sure that they were in the right place?
The only hindrance that I see, being funny or it isn't a problem. The only hindrance that I've seen is when a couple comes in and they're teed off, they're frustrated right now about something, and they don't follow the rules. If that happens, then it's not going to be a smooth, they're not going to experience a smooth transition with this. But there's one video, should we have sex more than 3 times a week? Now, the most popular issue that I've done is, should she initiate sex more? Well, this guy, oh no, the title of the video, if you find it on my YouTube channel, is should we have sex more than 3 or 4 times a week? I can't remember which one it was. But turns out this guy, he wants to have sex 3 times a day. And the lady is like, hey, after one day, that is 3 times a week for me, so it was enough for her. That was pretty funny, because she was like, somewhere in the video, you'll see him say, well, I thought you wanted it. And she said, I told you no. But he was like, well, I thought you was just, doing the, you want it kind of thing or something. I don't know, but they were funny. I can't tell you, Pastor, I can't tell you this. One of the reasons why the game works, because it removes the negative emotions from the conversation, from the interaction, okay? If they go to YBAngry.com, and you go down to the very bottom on the website, you'll see a lot of hyperlinks. And those videos, those are links to my YouTube channel, videos of couples resolving disagreements. Whenever you see couples laughing inside when they're playing the game, there's nothing funny in the game. There are no jokes in the game. There's nothing meant to be funny. They're just laughing at what they've said to each other, which never happens when you're having a heated discussion. It never happens when you're trying to tell your husband for the 20th time to pick your clothes up off the floor. right? Or whatever the issue is, it's never a laughing matter. But I believe when people are happier, they're more resourceful, and it's easier for them to listen and pay attention, and it just works out.
Absolutely. Fabulous, you have any questions you want to ask him before we
Yes, I
proceed?
have a question for you.
Okay.
Now, you said funny, you said happy. Now, when you're in a relationship, there's always people think it's a 50-50 deal. What do you think as a relationship coach?
So, Fabulous, when I when I sit down with a couple, I tell them I don't have a dog in the fight. It doesn't matter to me what they're trying to settle. My job is to help them follow the rules of this game. I'm like an umpire or coach. I'm really just coaching them to follow the 14 steps in the game. Because if they do that, they will work things out. So to answer your question, it doesn't matter to me what I think about the 50-50. I don't agree with 50-50 myself personally,
Okay.
but what matters is the couple. What do they feel? If they agree 90-10, if they both agree to that and it's working for them, then that's what works for them. If they think it should be 50-50 and they both agree and they both understand and it's working for them, then that's what works for them. What
So,
works for them might not work for me and you, right? But I've
Right.
had some couples to do there's one, um, should you let me be the head of the house? I think I posted that video. So, I've done that a few times. In every one of the issues, no matter what it is, all it took was the communication. So this game, it really is a communication tool to help people. It provides like the structure for people to communicate clearly and calmly so that they can actually hear each other. And once you actually hear your partner, it's easier to give them what they need.
Have you ever you said you were kicked out when you first tried to do this marriage counseling. Have you had anyone that you personally said, I can't help you. You need Jesus. Have you ever had any couple like that?
I did have one couple, and I did
Right?
have one couple, but the guy he was just so high strung. I don't know if he was high or not, but he just kept on wanting to talk, 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 talk. They resolved the issue, and their issue was, should we communicate more? I think, and I, I don't know. Yeah, it was her problem. She wanted to communicate more, and they resolved it. They came to an agreement, but then he kept going on and on and on and on and on. I really think he might have been a little high, and you know. Because I'm like, hey, man, you frustrating me, because you won't, he was like, wait, can I just say this? And I think I might have said, man, I don't know if this is working because, he's like, can I just say this? It is working because if it wasn't working, she wouldn't be laughing right now. We wouldn't even be talking right now. And so he was having some appreciation for what was going on, but it wasn't really going the way I wanted
You
to
wanted it to go.
yeah, because he wasn't really following the rules. The rules are set up for one person talks, then another person talks. It really levels the playing field. In most relationships, one person is going to be more articulate or more dominant than the other, and they're going to probably get their way more, and because they're really, because the other person is more going to be more passive. But I don't even know where I was going with that. I had a flashback to this to this guy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot where I was going with that
No,
one.
that's okay. Well, let me ask a question. They'll come back to you because one of the question was going to be, does it work for everyone? So we know it works for everyone if they allow it to work. Okay. If they really, you can't help someone when they don't want to be helped.
That's absolutely right. So there's three main rules, Pastor, to this game. First is they both have to want the relationship to work. So it's not the kind of game that you can win by yourself. The relationship has to win or you both lose.
Mm,
Okay?
Mm.
Okay. So uh, that has to be in play. The second part is they have to be honest about whatever they're going to talk about. I mean, if you're going to go into marriage counseling and you're just going to be lying, then that's not going to be successful either, right? And the third thing is you have to be able to count to 14. There's 14 simple steps to this game. And if you just follow those 14 steps, it will work out. I'll bet my right arm on it. It just works out every time. And believe it or not, you know, I'll sit down with a couple and I'll say that 14 steps and one of them will laugh or whatever. But invariably, when I'm sitting down with them, I'll have to say, wait, you're just on number 4. You're trying to do number 8,
Mm.
because, it's might not be intuitive to how we are used to handling our disagreements over the last 30 or 40 years. But if you just read, the steps are numbered in the game, 1 through 14. Okay, step 1, ba 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 ba. Step 2, and one side of the card is for one person to do, the other side of the card is for the other person to do. Some of the numbers are on one side and some of the numbers on the other side. So if we just did step 3 and step 4 is next, and you don't see it on your side of the card, you flip it over. Oh, it's the other person's to do. It's really simple if they just follow those steps.
It sounds exciting. I love playing
It
games.
it is.
Sounds good.
It might not be as fun as it is rewarding.
Uh-huh.
Everyone that plays the game is always glad they played it. They're always happy they played it because this issue has been bothering us for 30 years, 40 years, 25 years. That happens all the time. And a lot of times I find that so the first step is we have to agree on one issue to settle. That's one of the reasons why the game works, because we're focusing on just one issue. Okay. I'm not talking to you about how you cook and while you talking to me about what the yard looks like, if that's the roles we play. We're going to focus on one thing, what the yard looks like right now. And so because it makes us focus, people are able to pay attention. And for some reason, I wish I hadn't answered that first question because I keep going back to that guy who who was high, who I thought was high, and I keep losing my train of thought today. Oh my goodness.
well,
Anyway,
what is one action step that you can share with couples? Just one that let's say that you've got couples that they're not communicating. Sometimes we think we know our mates, and we know all about them. And then we
Yeah.
find out that there's some things that are surfacing that we really didn't know. Or we began to talk on a topic and we find out that that is the topic that really takes them over the hill. We never knew that before, but it's there, okay? Or I'm while I'm trying to communicate with you and have a conversation, you're not listening. You're continuously stopping me, saying, "Well, I know what the next word is. I know what you're gonna say, so I don't need you to finish it." So you're continuously stopping me in the conversation. So, what is one action step you would give to that couple?
okay. Before I answer that, I think what I was going to say before is that a lot of times when people play the game, they end up playing to settle an issue that one of the party didn't even know was an issue. I did one
Mm.
2 weeks ago. Do you prioritize my feelings over your ex-wife's?
Ooh.
The,
Mm.
right. The guy, and this had been an issue for 14 and a half years. The guy wasn't even aware that this was an issue for her. Okay. So the game made it possible for them to talk through that and resolve it. Now knows how to move when it comes to his ex-wife a little better. So, but to answer your question, the most important steps in the game are steps 4 and 5. This step is where, and I insist that the people I'm coaching use these exact words. But in this step, this is where one player has to repeat back to the other player what they believe their partner meant and follow that with, is that right? So that would look like, so you want to buy a new car because you don't feel safe? Is that right? Just to make sure we're on the same page. What that does, if it was me and you guys, it would allow you to feel heard. Now you can hear me when I respond to you. Also, when I respond to you, I can respond to what you actually mean, not something I thought you meant. That it is so. Now, when people say, I don't think we have a communication problem, he this or she that. The people that think they communicate well, I can't tell you how often they have to repeat that step 4, 5, 6 times before they get what their partner is saying. Also, a couple of weeks ago, I'm Zooming with a couple. They've been married 20 something years, and they're they weren't in the threat of divorce or anything like that. But the wife said she can tell things are changing, have changed a lot in the last few months. They don't talk or touch as much. So when we sat down to play, I thought we were going to talk about sex actually. But when we sat down to play, the guy goes, uh, I don't I don't think you appreciate all my hard work. I don't think you appreciate the life we've built together. So that was what they were going to work on. He didn't think she did. She thought for sure she does. And they were able to work that out because they were able to talk about it. The game allowed them to talk about it. But before I get off, we have to, when you play the game, let's say this, so their yes or no question was, do you appreciate the life we've built together? She had maybe 5 or 6 statements to support her yes, and he had just 3 to support his no, which is fine. Her number one statement was to support her proof that she appreciated their life was, I'm still here. 3 words.
I am
I'm
still
still
here.
here. So when he said to her, steps 4 and 5, he goes, so if you were not happy with the life we've built, you wouldn't still be here? Is that right? She says, no. And I'm like, oh. And then he says, he put another twist on it. He said, is that right? She said, no. At this point, I just busted out laughing and I had to interject and say, man, I thought, this shows you how different men and women are, because I thought just the way you thought. But what she really meant was slightly different. She meant, I'm still fighting for us, and that's why I'm still here.
Yeah.
Which wasn't the same. But as you can imagine, when people, if you aren't on the same page, if you aren't understanding what each other are saying, the conversation is, you're just talking at each other,
All right,
right?
let me stop you there. Let me stop you there. I know you got lots of more you
Oh,
can say, but first
sorry.
of all, I need to let people know, one, how they can contact you. That's the first thing. And what is your website information? So I'm going to allow you, while I convey with Fabulous Camille, to put your contact information in the chat here, okay? Because that
Okay.
means that I can just copy it out and throw it right on the Facebook, okay? So
Okay.
give me your contact
So
information, give me your website.
the website, everything can be found at my website. That's YBAngry.com.
All right, I'm going to ask you to put
YB.
it in the chat though, too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
You can tell us and then put it in the chat.
Yeah. It's YBAngry.com. And it's YBAngry.com. And I'm just going to pull up the link. and they can
Oh,
get to my YouTube channel from there. They can order the game from there. They can order the book from there. They can do everything from there.
all right, I love this conversation. Communication is key. So we're not husband and wife, but me and Fabulous Camille were having a conversation even after you came on because she was thinking I was going to send her information. I was thinking that she had the link to get in to get the information. And she thought I was going to be on 30 minutes early. I was, but I got busy with somebody else. So look at here. Look at here. We're
Mhm.
having we might need to go to YBAngry. We're not angry, but
Yeah. You don't have to be angry, and you don't have to be a couple. The main thing is that you have to want the relationship. So I've done it a couple of times with mother and son. You know, I had this one situation last year where the lady hadn't talked to her son in like 10 years. They were on the outs for 10 years. He had her blocked from his phone and everything. And he actually told her she wished she was dead over his
ooh,
brother's phone over
Wow.
Thanksgiving. And
Wow.
so I said, hey, the first step is you guys both have to want the relationship to work. But if you'll talk to me, I'll probably be able to get him to sit with us. And he sat with us. And before it was over, he was calling the mom and they departed with I love yous. And she was unblocked from his phone. It just all worked out because they were able to communicate. You know, there
wonderful. So,
two
so I get it. Anybody that let's say that couples are even thinking about getting married, couples that are engaged. Now that you said you did this with a mother and a son, even how about friendships? Um,
Mm.
so
uh,
I have not done friendships yet, but I've done mother and son a couple of times. But as long as they satisfy that first rule that they both want this relationship, then because there can't be any selfish intent involved. Okay. Remember, the relationship has to win or we both lose.
Yes.
So the reason why that's important is because it puts us on the same team. It's like she's not the problem. It's me and her against the drinking or whatever that issue is. The issue is the problem. So, and when we're on the same team, I'm not feeling attacked. So I don't have to get defensive. And now I can, since I'm not defensive, I can really hear you. I
okay,
have the
I love
couple,
that.
I have the couple, the weekend of Super Bowl last year resolved 9 issues in one day. I was actually
Wow.
sitting with them and went through 9 issues. And after the fourth one, the lady says, I don't get it. I don't understand why this is working. And I said, well, what do you mean? And she seemed like she was frustrated. She said, I don't get it. I haven't said anything now that I haven't said 100 times already. I said, well, April, you got to understand, if you're telling him something for the 20th time, you're probably not saying it with the same tone and attitude that you had the first time. So he's probably hearing that, and his wall is probably going up. I mean, feeling that, and his wall is going up, and he's not really hearing you. He's hearing you now. You know, if you
Mm.
tell him something for the 50th time, eh, maybe he hasn't corrected, maybe he needs to be told again, but he may feel nagged because the attitude that you're giving him when you tell him that. But if he's actually sitting down to hear you, that's one of the things that I hear mostly ladies say all the time when they're playing, I feel heard. I hear that all the time. They finally feel like the guy heard them.
Okay,
So,
and one of the things that you're going to share with everyone is a free gift. And that free gift is 3 free tips to get what you need without arguing. So that is, it's at https semicolon forward slash YBAngry.com correct?
right. So, so all they have to do is go to when they go to the website, like the second section down, they can download the mobile app. When they download the mobile app and register, just put their email address in there. There's a video in there that will give them 3 free tips to help them get what they need without arguing.
Okay,
Real
guys.
easy.
So make sure you go and you get this app, okay? Get these. You know what? One thing I find out about people when we ask our guests to come on and share a gift, I bet you half the time none of them go in and take care of it. But I'm going to tell you that if you're having any problems or you're going through anything at all, okay? Friendship, mother son, mother daughter,
Mhm.
father son, and even friendship. Look, go
Friendship.
in friendship. Yeah, we this is a mother daughter friendship, sister relationship we got going on here, and we are not going to let anything or anyone
Nothing.
separate us.
That's
So if
right.
we find that we need to go, we going to YBAngry. Okay.
That's right. Why be angry?
You
Now,
know,
All right,
I
so we're rounding up our time. I'm going to let you speak and give us last words, but we're rounding up our time. So I want to find out first if the Fabulous Camille has any other questions for you or any
yes,
last comments.
I actually have a question for you. Now, why be angry? Why did you name it that?
um I thought it was kind of catchy. That's really all. I mean, because I think there's no reason to be frustrated or angry when it's so easy to have peace in the house. It's just so easy. So why be angry when you don't have to?
And let me tell everybody, it's not the word why be angry. It's why and YB, and then angry.com. Okay. So we spell out the whole word angry. So YBAngry.com.
Very catchy.
Alice, you got one more question for Rod, and we're going to let him give last thoughts, and we're going to get ready for next Friday.
Okay.
Now, if you were to sum up each couple in one word, what would you say?
If I were to sum up each couple in one
Each
word,
couple. Mhm.
before they play the game or after?
Okay, before they play the game and after they play the game, if you were to sum it all up together, what would you say about the couples that you have dealt with in your journey that you have?
Uh,
Are you
um,
talking about the ones that he's actually helped, all out of all
Yes.
the couples that he has helped,
Yeah.
how would he sum it up?
Okay, put it like this. What is, was it when you first started with them? Was it difficult, stressful, make you angry? Or was it, oh Lord, what am I going to do with this one? You know, what was your feelings towards the couples when you first started and to the end of the journey? Let me make it that simple.
and last thing, their journey or my journey?
Your journey, not them. Your
Oh,
journey. Because it's a
yeah,
journey because you're
yeah.
taking on the responsibility of
Hmm.
him and her. And this one is upset and this one is angry and it's like boom 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 boom. You're in the middle. When you started with them, your first expression with them is was what? Answer that first one. Your first expression. My husband and I come to you to get counseling. He won't listen,
Yeah.
and I'm saying, stop talking. What would be your
So
first impression?
I, if one word would be to start, would be confusion, and the when it's over is understanding.
Ah, see, that's what I want. Confusion and understanding. Because listening to you, you met a couple that wasn't sure what. You thought it was something else, and it ended up being something else. You thought it was about sex, but it wasn't about sex. It was something else. So it's like,
Well, she thought it. She made me think that though.
right.
Yeah,
So
but she didn't know. She didn't know her husband was feeling the way he was about appreciation.
see. Oh, one more quick question. Out of all the couples, is it 90% of them is about sex, or is it about the man won't listen? Which one is it?
Oh, it's not. Sex was just the single most one I've done. It's not a big majority of them at all. It's money, your too much of your ex, too much cell phone. It's always how do we raise the kids? It's a ton of different things.
Okay.
So, what was the second part of the question? Oh, is it the man? No. So maybe to answer that question, let me tell you this. What I've just realized over the last couple of months is two big things. One, which Pastor mentioned already, we never know our partner. I don't care if you've been together for 50 years. We never know our partner as well as we think we do. We just don't. Otherwise, there wouldn't be this confusion. You'd always understand each other. Okay. And the second part is that we don't communicate as well as we think we do. We might be able to articulate well, but we don't do the listening part well. Because there's no magic in this game. It just guides the communication. And once you do the communication right and you want to be together, it works. It just works every time.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you.
And it's so true. Um, I mean, there are many days that my husband and I, doing 53 years, they weren't all that great, but we came to a conclusion that, hey, look, we need to sit down and we need to talk and we need to figure out what's going on, okay? And how do we solve the issue, you know? And it's all about we both wanted to stay together. We said we would stay together until we leave this earth together. So how do we make that happen? Are we going to agree all the time? No, we're not. Okay, but my job is to sit and listen while you talk, and your job is to listen while I talk. And let's come to some satisfactory conclusion that works for us both. And it seems as though you found the boat for us to get into to make that
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah. Look, a couple I was doing a week or so ago, the guy said in the middle of the session, he says, in the middle of the game, he says, when you say that, it hurts me. And so after the game was over, I told him I thought it was good of him to say that. I said you probably wouldn't have said that otherwise if it wasn't for the game. He said I would have never said that, you know.
Wow.
So the game, it just creates this environment that makes people comfortable to share.
That's great.
You don't ever see anybody angry and upset. All you see is some laughing. That's really the only emotion you'll see, you know, for the most part.
Okay,
That's
so
good.
we are at the hour. This will end our session for today. I want to thank Rod Jetter for coming on and sharing with us why be angry. And make sure that you go into our Facebook community, Porch Talk Live Worldwide, let it rip, and actually um, click on the link and get the free download that Rod has put in there. And if you feel like you're going through something and you need to resolve some issues, then hey, we found out who the coach is for that. And from what I'm hearing from him, from the first time we talked up until now, I think that he is a great coach that can help you with whatever it is that you may be going through when it comes to relational issues. So I want to thank you, Rod, for coming on. And as always, I want to thank our fabulous Camille Rod for being here. And you can find us here on Porch Talk Live Worldwide each and every Friday from 1 p.m. Central or 2 p.m. Eastern And all we're doing is coming on the porch, talking to some of our guests that have some extraordinary things that they want to share with us. So take advantage of everything, take notes, okay? And then always, always comment and let us know your thoughts, what it is you may like to see that we haven't already done or we haven't already talked about. Now, we're just starting the year off, so we've got a lot to do and we got a lot of places to go. So, we're definitely going to ask Rod to come back on again. And once a year, we have an event that is called Porch Talk Live Worldwide Friends and Family Reunion. We're going to start that back up again this year, but we're only going to have one event. That is it. The tickets are going to be $25, and we're going to be asking you to join us, okay? And let's have some fun. I'm looking for more than 100 people, so I'm going to be talking about it on every video. Rod, I'm expecting for you to be there to come and talk. This time it's not going to be husbands and wife. It's just going to be friendship, sisterhood, brotherhood. So you're going to have to be sharing some stuff with us to keep us locked together,
All right, all right,
so that we can all stay partners and we can stay friends, okay? I
all
look
right.
forward to seeing you back here. Closing will be with the fabulous Camille Robb. Close us out, girlfriend.
Remember, no matter what you have going on in your life, you open, you close. Open your ears so you can listen. Close your mouth so you can hear. Stay blessed, stay safe, and stay absolutely fabulous. And we see you next time. Bye for now. Thank you,
Amen.
Mr.
Bye
Rod.
bye, everyone.
Why be angry? Just play.
Yes.